you can't. You just, if you start listening to every criticism, it'll tear what you do apart, because the criticisms are, many of them, mutually exclusive. There are going to be people who think it's moving too quickly. There are going to be people who think it's moving too slowly. People who think there's too much violence. People who think there's not enough violence. And we make the show that we want to watch. We would want to watch if we were reviewers. So some people are going to like it, and some people aren't.
And you don't read anymore what people say online.
No. If you look at the r/freefolk subreddit right now, it's full of people posting things, or the actors involved with the show are kind of like asked, "Oh, how's it end? Do you like it?" And they're just like,
So how does it end? Just between us.
Just between us?
Yeah.
Okay, you promise not to put this on.
Oh yeah, I promise.
60 Minutes or anything.
How would you describe it?
How would I describe it?
How does it end? Depends in the end.
Well,
there's too many elements to be able to please everyone.
Yeah, you're not going to tie everything
too complex a story.
We've chatted. It ends brilliantly.
I don't know if it's what people are expecting. I don't know that people are.
I think some people will be satisfied and others not so much.
Long enough. I know, it's been long enough because we've just been making the best season ever. Oh, yeah. Ever. Forever.
What she said.
Really? Right? Yes.
Okay, so is that our tease? The best season
ever.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah.
Proud of them.
Have you shot your final scenes yet? And are you happy with how things ended?
Yeah.
She didn't say yes. You didn't say yes.
Best season ever!
It's the best season ever.
So she has filmed her final scene for the final season of the series, and she feels some kind of way. It f***ed me up, knowing that it's going to be a lasting flavor in everyone's mouth of what Daenerys is.
So I read the scripts this season, and I, in some kind of a daze, walked out of my house. The only thing I took was my keys, and about 3 hours later I arrived back home, and I still hadn't taken it all in.
Okay. Are we ready?
Is this? I don't know. I don't know if anyone's ready. I don't know if TVs are ready.
end the way you thought it would end.
No.
Really? Oh, in a good way or a bad way?
I can't say it.
I'm not asking for specifics.
In a way.
Seriously though. Seriously, it's ridiculous.
It takes you to a place that you never saw coming, that I didn't see coming. Yeah, be prepared. It's a fun ride.
If you could describe the season finale of Game of Thrones in one word, how would you describe it?
Disappointing.
Disappointing?
No, epic. I don't know.
Epic.
One of those ones.
You can be important without necessarily doing well. People say, are we going to be happy with the ending? Maybe not. We've never bothered about keeping people happy before. You're going to be satisfied, but happy is something that we don't specialise in, I'm afraid.
It's a massive part of you. It's been a massive part of your career. Are you happy with how Jon Snow kind of wraps the whole thing up?
I'm satisfied with what they did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm satisfied with what they did.
Mm-hmm. Were you happy with how it ends?
That's a very good question. I was sort of, it's weird walking around with this. I think for all of us walking around with this big kind of secret, we know how it all kind of wraps up. We know how it ends. I don't think anyone should really. It's like when you finish a book, like you're not happy it's over, are you? You don't finish a good book and go, I'm happy I finished that.
Yeah. Sometimes you are. If it's an amazing ending, if it turns out as you like and you go, now that is an ending, that's amazing.
But you have this grief that it's
over.
But
you do have grief when you lose
and that's
these
exactly
characters.
the same with this 9 years of doing this show, and no matter how it ended or how it does end, there's always going to be a bit of you that goes, there's this kind of loss around it. So maybe not happy, but very satisfied.
Very satisfied.
Hopefully it will change TV again like it did originally and break boundaries. I think it might.
I want to talk about Game of Thrones for a second.
Yes.
And for fans who are watching around the world, I know you can't tell me anything about it, but what do you think their reaction will be to the final episode?
Shock.
Shock?
Oh,
With the I think that's breaking news. Shock, all right? Not enthusiastic, not pleased, but shocked.
I just think there's going to be a lot of. It's going to be huge.
Yes.
That much everyone needs to know. It's took us a very long time to shoot this one for a very good reason. But I think there's going to be some things in this. I know there's going to be some things in this last season that will shock people.
There you go, people. That's exciting. I'm going to ask you a question that's come in from fans.
Oh my God, this is the final season. I cannot believe.
I know.
It's and then your thoughts on the way it ended. Is it what you thought was going to happen? I know you can't
No.
tell me, but is it what you thought? They surprised you, really?
No, they surprised me completely. I really feel like everyone's going to be surprised. Even if it's not just that the ending itself will surprise people, everything else that happens before then, I think, will probably come as a shock.
Really?
To most people.
And will we have closure?
Yes.
Ish? Ish. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Were you with your theory about the ending?
Close-ish.
Okay.
No, I'm lying. I didn't see any of this coming. None of it.
The facial expressions fans will have when they see the final episode.
Gosh. I just think it's going to be a full. Some people will be like, and some people will be like, and some people will be like, and some people will just be screaming, and some people will be crying, and.
Was that your reaction when you saw the script?
Yeah, it was almost like I had every single emotion someone could have, and then and then it went like a vacuum, like it just went, and then I just walked out, and I kind of.
No, you're not allowed to say a lot about the ending of Game of Thrones. Maybe you could try something different. Could you give us your, into the camera, your facial expressions, what it was like reading the last episode for the first time?
What it was like reading the last episode for the first time.
Like the different stages you went through.
I mean, it's pretty much one stage.
Okay.
Of just. That's it.
It's the final series of Game of Thrones, which obviously you can't talk about.
Yes.
But could you describe it in 3 mysterious words?
Mysterious words. Heartbreaking, awesome, and tense.
Good words.
I'm 3/4 of the way through filming it, so that's what I'm feeling right now. Those were 3 words about how I'm feeling about the end of Game of Thrones rather than the actual season itself.
Do you think that ending will satisfy people?
I hope so. We'll see.
We'll see.
So without giving anything away,
yes.
When you read that final script,
yeah.
What happens to Daenerys?
Yeah.
What was your reaction?
It's sort of almost impossible to answer that question.
Without giving something away?
Mm-hmm. I have so much to say about that.
I don't know if I'm going to watch the final episode. That's me being very honest.
You need to swap up and you need to start watching the last couple so you can.
Yeah, but it's like when you see a magic show and then someone tells you how the trick is done, the magic's kind of gone. You know. Now I've seen Did you know dragons are not real?
Don't tell me that.
For real.
How does it end? I can tell you that we had a giant read-through with all the cast in October, and I think pretty much everybody cried at one point. And it was pretty surprising. So,
like, I've had theories all along, and all of them were wrong. You know, they were all wrong, and I'm quite glad I never told anyone my theories because they were all wrong. I was very shocked and surprised at certain events unfolding, and then I blubbed my eyes out. I cried.
You cried? The rest of the season, the finale.
I think it's very big and very shocking. The final season as a whole.
And we'll watch it. I'm looking forward to waiting for particular moments that they won't be expecting.
Out of here.
Halfway through season 1, okay, we've got a question. Do you want Ned Stark to die in episode 9? They'd have gone, absolutely not. No way. Do you want the Red Wedding to happen? Of course we don't. We love these characters. We want to keep them around. We've never given people what they think they want because we know that people really like to be challenged and they don't like to be spoon-fed. And all of those great moments, those visceral moments of people's reaction to this show have come from things happening that they didn't want to happen.
If we come around and present the end of this show with a nice pink ribbon on it and go, there you go, everything you wanted, people would just shout you patronizing, blah, blah, blah.
It brings everybody into it and what we thought, and it questions everything, which I love. It really makes you question yourself, I think. I did when I was reading it. It really, and not in any sort of snarky way, in a beautiful way. I would love to talk to you more about it, but I can't. It's really good.
Will you watch the finale? Where will you be together?
Oh, we're not. We are going to take our wives to an undisclosed location.
But you will be together.
We'll be together,
the two
four
of
of us.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll together, and we're just going to turn our phones off, turn our
going
computers
offline,
off, and
drinking a lot of tequila.
Yeah, drinking tequila and coming back when it's over.
She was conflicted. It was so unbelievably exciting, Williams told Entertainment Weekly, but I immediately thought that everybody would hate it, that Arya doesn't deserve it. The hardest thing in any series is when you build up a villain that's so impossible to defeat, and then you defeat them. It has to be intelligently done because otherwise people are like, well, the villain couldn't have been that bad when some 45-kilogram girl comes in and stabs him. You gotta make it cool. And then I told my boyfriend and he was like, should be Jon though, really, shouldn't it?
People will die.
No, actually, that's the big twist. Every Game of Thrones, everybody wins.